Hey everyone, it's time to start my seeds for spring. Let's get going. It is Diane at the Picket Fence Greenhouse and Gardens, and today what's today's January 13th, 2011. And I am going to get started on planting my seeds for the spring season, spring greenhouse season. And I'm going to run down a few things what I'm going to plant today. Mainly what I want to start in January is some of the plants that take a little bit longer. They need a little more grow time. And I have found work really good if I start them in January. And I'm going to just kind of go over them a little bit, which ones I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing some Pentas, some Dichondra, Silver Falls, some Bleeding Heart seed, fern leaf Bleeding Heart seed that I saved. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to start those. We got some Lizard Sedum. This is a new sedum on the market, and I'm really excited for starting this. It's going to be a nice drought-tolerant plant. Also, I got some Lisianthus, which requires a lot of grow time. Definitely got to get those started. And here's some more sedum Voodoo. It's a perennial. And we have some Echinacea, purple coneflower. We got the Powwow Wild Berry and the Powwow White. So those are the seeds I'm going to get started this week. Just because they need to be started. Perennials, it's good to start them. I like to start them now. Give them plenty of time to grow, and so they'll bloom the first seasons. What I have here, these are some trays. Actually, I cut the larger 10 by 20 trays and made some half trays, and then I taped them. You know, I've done this because I don't like them taking up so much shelf space, and this way I can put quite a few seeds in these little plastic trays. So these are what I'm going to use. I'm going to use my grower mix, my peat and perlite germinating mix. Works really good to start my seeds. This is the soil I'll be using. And you know, we'll get started. Oh, another thing we're going to start is some rosemary, more rosemary. I have some growing, very slow to grow, so I need to get some more started. So let's get started. I'll move you in a little closer, and I'll just kind of show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I got my trays all ready. I put the soil in them. I kind of like to do about half full or so. Just enough soil to get these guys started, get the seeds started. And I have a couple things already set out here already. I'm going to be doing the Echinacea Powwow Wild Berry. This is a perennial seed. As you can see, they're nice large seeds. These will be easy to plant. Normally, you know, I'll just scatter them over the soil and kind of keep the seeds spaced. Also, with the packets, I normally, to mark my trays, I just cut off on the seed packet what it is. I just cut that off, and I'll just place it right in the tray. Okay, so we'll get these planted here. And basically, you know, I don't have any rules. You guys, everybody can kind of do what works best for them. But I just like to take and scatter them over the top. It says to cover these just lightly. On some, you know, plants like to be light for germination, and some plants like darkness for germination. So we will be covering this one here with soil. This is 100 seeds. It's going to make a lot of nice plants. Germ on these should be pretty good. I've planted Echinacea before, the purple coneflower, and it's done quite well. But we'll go ahead and get them scattered out. And once I get them scattered out, I'll take my little sprayer. This is my sprayer. It works great. I got water in here, and it's got a little scythe pump on it. And I'll just water them in. Water the seeds in. Just enough to cover the top pretty well. You want them wet, but not over wet. Okay. And once I get that done, I'll just take and cover them with some more germinating soil. A thin layer. It says lightly. So you don't want to cover them deep, or you might have trouble with them, you know, germinating. So it's really, you know, this is all A lot of people that start your own seeds, it's trial and error sometimes. Do your research, but it's really, you know, it's a very fun project, and you know, I'll be starting these for the greenhouse. So okay, once I get that done, then I go and water in again. And I got my heating mat set on 70, 72, and I will put my plants on there today. Watch them every day and make sure they're moist. But that one's done already. It's just as simple as that. The next thing I'm going to plant is, let me get this nice and moist, the Lisianthus. And it's called Blue Chip, Sapphire Blue Chip. These look really pretty, but they require a little time. Again, I cut off the label on the packet and I'll just set it in my tray. These are pelleted seeds right here. So they got them in a little capsule. These will be a little trickier to plant, but I usually like to put everything in a bowl. Okay. As you can see, the seeds, very tiny and round. But it's got a nice little capsule. This would be a nice thing to keep to put other seeds in. And what I'll do here, these need light for germination. And I'm just going to sprinkle them once again. Try to get them spaced out. You can also make rolls if you want. You can make a roll in the soil with a large pencil. You know, that works really well too. And I've done it both ways. But I have pretty good luck just scattering them. And you know, kind of you want to make sure they get, you know, spread out pretty well within the flat. These are going to be really pretty. I'll keep you updated on the progress of some of the seeds as they germ and move along and as they grow, because it'll be fun to see. Okay, so once I get that done, again, I will just shoot them with some water. Now these, what I'll do with them, they need light for germination. So I have a shop light handy, and I've used one of those plastic domes that you see with these trays. I'll just put a plastic dome over this to keep it moist and to keep the light, you know, so the light can reflect in so that they germ. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to plant is the Sedum Voodoo. This is a perennial. Very fine seed right here, and as you can see, that would be really hard to plant. What I like to do is I like to add some sand to these small seeds, and then just mix them around. This will help to spread the seed around. Make sure it's pretty decent clean sand that's been, you know, washed. But I like to do it this way, much easier to scatter the seeds. And I just take a spoon then, and if you can see it here, I'll move this up a little bit. I'll just take and scatter it ever so lightly. Now this is a really small seed that will need light for germination also. Okay, kind of like to just, I'll just scatter them around in this tiny tray. You'll see a lot of sand, but that's okay. That's not going to hurt anything at all. I found this technique an easy way to spread the small seeds. Okay, once that's done, I got them spread out. Those will be watered in, and like I said, these need light for germination. Just water them in real good, and I'll put a plastic dome lid on them to keep the moisture, keep them content in. Okay. And then this one's done.